Welcome to the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. Here's your host, Brien Hanley.
Hey, everybody, what's going on? This is your man, Big B, Brien Hanley, and welcome back to Big 12 Insiders. Appreciate everybody being in here. Look, we are continuing our series of the best game each week in the Big 12 Conference. Last episode, we did week 0. Today, we're doing actually week 1. A couple of intriguing matchups that we're going to go over. Again, you may not agree. You could disagree. That's great. Get in the comments section. Tell me exactly which ones you like or don't like. But we're breaking down what I think are the best games, not only from a perspective of just football games, but what it actually does for the conference as a whole. Keep that in mind. I'm also taking a look at it from that vantage point as well. And again, now week 1 is going to be a little different to not necessarily agree because only a couple of teams will have played in week 0. But once we get to week 6, again, it could be totally different because, I do an episode each week on what the best games are. This could be totally different by the time we get to week 6 because if a team is really good that I think is going to stink or we all think is going to stink, vice versa, whatever the case may be, just depends on how the season goes. But during the preseason, this is where I'm looking at as of right now. So make sure you guys remember to continue to get in that comment section, like, follow, and also subscribe to the page if you haven't done all that already. And also hit the notification bell so you know exactly when Big 12 Insiders content comes out. Let's get into this. So week 1, we did week 0, now week 1. I always think that's weird saying week 0, but it is what it is, people. So there's a couple of games. Look, Utah going to UCLA. I know it's a road game. It's a Power 5 or a Power 4 game against a Big 10 opponent. But I don't think that UCLA is going to be very good. Now, here's the thing. Utah has got to bounce back. This is a huge bounce back game for Utah. But do I think this is the best game within the Big 12 conference this week? No. I think it's an important game for Utah, but I don't think it's the best game overall for the conference. Then we got another game. It happens to be on a Thursday night where Cincinnati, it's against Nebraska. The game's at Arrowhead Stadium. I almost said host Nebraska, but the game's at Arrowhead Stadium. Look, this is a big game for Cincinnati. A lot of people think Nebraska is going to be good, but they say that about Nebraska every single season. But this is a game that Cincinnati needs to go win. A big showcase game for them. I'm not saying it makes or breaks the Bearcats season. I'm not saying that at all, but I do think it could springboard their season. I absolutely believe that. And it is an important game for the conference because, like I said, there's a lot of people that think Nebraska is going to be pretty good. Well, if Cincinnati goes and beats them, doesn't that make Cincinnati pretty good? Now, we know the national media is not going to say that. They're just going to say Nebraska stinks. We get it. But neither here nor there. This is a game that Cincinnati needs to go win. But again, not the biggest in the conference as far as the week is concerned. Going down the list. Now, here's one. Georgia Tech on Friday night goes to Colorado. Now, again, ACC opponent. And a lot of people believe that that Georgia Tech is going to be really good. They think that Georgia Tech has an opportunity to compete to win the ACC title this year. I don't see it because I don't think their quarterback throws the ball well enough to be able to do that. But, hey, that's just me talking. It is what it is. But a lot of people believe Georgia Tech is going to be in the upper realm of the ACC for whatever that means. Also, Colorado losing the Heisman Trophy winner, losing Shedeur Sanders at quarterback. They lost some things that – and how is Deion Sanders going to cope with not coaching his sons for the first time? How is the program going to bounce back from losing players of that type of caliber? How are they going to bounce back? What's it going to look like against? Now, while I don't think Georgia Tech is the best team in the conference of the ACC, they are still a pretty good football team. So what's that going to look like? Big game for Colorado. It's going to get a lot of eyeballs because it's Colorado. But again, it's showcase Friday night. But again, to me, not the biggest game within the conference that week. That game would be Baylor hosting Auburn. That, too, is on Friday night. Same time as the Colorado and Georgia Tech game. It's on Fox. So you'll get a national audience. Now, a lot of people, I mean, depending on eyeballs, people like to watch Deion in Colorado, so they'll be battling each other. But here's the thing, and why I believe that Auburn going to Baylor is a bigger deal. Because contrary to what I think most realistic football people believe, everybody thinks Auburn's going to be really good. I don't see it, but whatever. Perception is reality sometimes, people. They perceive Auburn to be really good. Same thing can be said about Baylor. I don't think it's perception when it comes to Baylor. I think Baylor is going to be very good. Showcase game, Friday night, against the SEC opponent that a lot of people think are going to be pretty good. Great. Here's your opportunity, Big 12. Go beat the head end of an Auburn. Now, the reason that I think this is such a big game is because, look, I'm not saying Baylor's got to go blow Auburn out, but I think Baylor's a better football team, and they need to go show it. Again, it's on Fox. A lot of people are going to be watching. How good is the Big 12? Now, you get later on in the season, about week 9, and Auburn's only won about 3 or 4 games, which I actually predict is what's going to happen. Then a lot of people are going to say it doesn't matter. But as of right this second and early in the season, Baylor needs to go and win the football game and look good in doing so. You can't look sloppy against, Auburn. Now, sloppiness is something that we've become accustomed to when it comes to first game football. I mean, it's just what it is, man. First game of the season, teams are going to be sloppy. But you need to go win the game and, like I said, look as good as possible in doing so. A lot of eyeballs. SEC opponent. People think they're going to be good. Questioning whether the Big 12 is going to be good. How we constantly talk about is that, hey, how can the Big 12 get a bigger imprint on the season? How can they get a more of a, I don't know, I guess market share or more spots in the college football playoff? Well, you got to go beat teams from the SEC, the Big Ten, and the ACC. Well, here's your opportunity. This is a team, again, I don't think Auburn's going to be great, but a lot of people think they're going to be pretty good. Go beat them. Go beat them. Again, it helps Baylor because, again, I think Baylor's going to be a really good team. Not enough people are talking about Baylor this year, ladies and gentlemen. I think Baylor's going to be good. And if they are, and they go beat this Auburn team, again, it raises the profile for the entire Big 12 conference. Not saying that Baylor's going to be the best team in the country. I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that the Big 12 isn't the best conference in the country, although I'm not saying it can't be. I'll say that out loud. Not saying it can't be. But this is a game that you need to go win. You're at home, national audience, SEC opponent, and not a bottom dweller of the SEC. While I don't think Auburn's great, they're not terrible either. It's not Mississippi State that you're going to play. So yes, it's a huge game, not only for Baylor, but for the entire Big 12. You got to, when you get your opportunities to beat these teams from the Big Ten, the ACC, and the SEC, you have to take advantage of it. It's only going to help the conference, and it's only going to help yourself as well. So I think this is the biggest game in week 1. For those reasons alone, again, I get Cincinnati playing a Big Ten opponent. Great. Again, I get Colorado playing against, an ACC opponent that a lot of people think are going to be really good. Great. And I understand Utah's playing UCLA on the road in the Rose Bowl, but a lot of people don't think that UCLA is going to be great. That's not Utah's fault, though. It just is what it is. So for me, week 1, biggest game for the Big 12 is going to be that game. Yes, Auburn going to Baylor, going to Waco, having a national audience there to see if Baylor or the weak Big 12 can beat the mighty SEC in a regular season football game. I love it. Take advantage of it, Baylor. Go beat them. I love this series that we're doing, that we put this thing together, man. I think, like I said, it's preseason. All this stuff could change by week 5. Things could be totally different. And in this conference, we know they probably will be different. But as of today, this is where we sit, people. So I appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you, as always. Remember, like, follow, subscribe, continue to get in the comments section and let us know what you think. And if you think a different game for week 1 should be number 1, make sure you tell me why. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for watching the Big 12 Insiders, your Big 12 sports show. This has been a Spirit Street production.